I will proceed to my opening statement. Good morning and welcome to the first Coast Guard and Maritime Transportation Subcommittee hearing in the 117th Congress. Today we will examine the state of the United States maritime industry amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. It is an honor to chair this vital subcommittee, and I look forward to working alongside my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support our maritime community and United States Coast Guard. The maritime transportation system is vast and complex. It touches virtually every aspect of American life, from movement of passengers, the clothes we wear, to the cars we drive and the fuel in those vehicles. When it is working well, it is easy to forget the importance of our maritime system, as well as the Coast Guard, and as chair, I will strive to uplift this important sector. The Subcommittee on Coast Guard and Maritime Transportation has a long history of bipartisan cooperation, and I look forward to working with Ranking Member Gibbs to conduct oversight and pass important legislation to support our maritime industry and the Coast Guard. I'm sorry we cannot physically meet in person today for this important first subcommittee hearing. I am sure, though, that we will rise to the challenge to conduct the important business nonetheless. I also want to thank the former subcommittee chair, Sean Patrick Maloney, for the great work he did last Congress. He worked tirelessly to improve our Coast Guard and to strengthen the U.S. maritime industry, and we will work to build upon those efforts. He leaves big shoes to fill. The United States maritime industry includes four major components: the internationally trading U.S. flag fleet, the domestic trades, or the Jones Act, shipbuilders and U.S. ports, commercial shipping carriers, more than 95% by volume of U.S. overseas trade, and yet the presence of U.S. flag fleet operating in international trade is diminishing. In the past 35 years, we've seen the U.S. flag fleet drop from over 850 vessels to merely 85. Let me say that again. From over 850 vessels to merely 85. The United States Merchant Marine, which provides a living wage to its American mariners, pays taxes in America, and complies with American regulations, simply cannot compete with foreign fleets that pay little to no taxes, comply with the bare minimum regulations, and pay substandard wages. The Merchant Marine Act of 1920, or Jones Act, safeguards our country and economy and provides guaranteed work to American merchant mariners, ensuring government and civilian goods. People and equipment are carried by U.S. flagships and U.S. citizens. The domestic Jones Act trade includes more than 41,000 vessels, not including fishing vessels. In my district, which encompasses Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties and a portion of Ventura County, maritime and seafaring is an essential way of life, with the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach just to the south and the Pacific Ocean to the west. Our community is rich in maritime history or heritage. My district is home to a vibrant passenger vessel industry, but in the wake of this pandemic, much of the industry has had to shut down its business and furlough employees. Many passenger vessels operating in the Jones Act trade have lost the entirety of their 2020 operating season. Of the companies operating, most have experienced reductions in revenue by as much as 90% and have laid off or furloughed as much as 80% of their employees. And while passenger vessels and ferries are one of the few sectors of the maritime industry to receive federal assistance, they were left out. They were left to compete for this assistance with other modes of passenger transportation. The remainder of the maritime industry has left to fend for itself. Operators have had to shoulder the burden of increased costs of new safety measures, acquiring protective gear and complying with public health measures, while other industries have received federal assistance. Requests for assistance have gone unanswered, while demand on our ports and cargo carrying U.S. fleet only increases as American commerce increases. I applaud President Biden for affirming support for the Jones Act. The industry needs strong federal support in order to weather this storm. One way to provide immediate assistance is by funding the Maritime Transportation Emergency Relief Program that was passed into law last Congress under the leadership of Chairman DeFazio. For the first time, it created a program within the Maritime Administration to provide financial assistance to the maritime industry in times of national emergency. We need to utilize this program and provide funding to protect American maritime jobs and assist operators struggling to stay afloat. As we gather here today to hear from our witnesses on the current state of the U.S. maritime industry, I want to take a moment to stop and thank you, to our maritime workforce. These crucial frontline workers show up day in and day out to ensure our shelves are stocked and that Americans get their essentials, while also facing their share of danger and loss from COVID-19. Without your dedication, we would not be able to weather this storm, so thank you. My hope is that this hearing will help inform the committee of the ongoing difficulties facing the maritime industry and identify areas of support that will allow the industry to emerge stronger than when the pandemic began. We must ensure the marine transportation system continues to operate seamlessly, and we must protect these essential frontline workers. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses.